Schopenhauer once suggested that high intelligence is not a gift that makes life easier. It is a burden, a rupture, a distance between oneself and the collective mind. To be intelligent, he believed, is to exist in a world that is constantly pushing you to shrink, to dim, to become smaller than your potential. And this is why society does not merely misunderstand the intelligent person, it fears them. Because intelligence disrupts patterns, it questions traditions, it exposes illusions that most people depend on to feel secure. Schopenhauer argued that the average person seeks comfort, not truth, pleasure, not insight, certainty, not depth, and so, when confronted with someone who sees through the structure of society, that person becomes a threat, a living contradiction. The intelligent person scares society because they refuse to live asleep. They look at the world with eyes that are fully open. But what exactly makes intelligence so unsettling? Why does society push back against those who think differently, feel differently, and observe more deeply? And what does Schopenhauer reveal about this tension, not only in society, but within the intelligent individual themselves? This is the psychology behind why intelligent people frighten the collective mind. Schopenhauer believed that most people are not driven by wisdom, but by imitation. They follow the crowd, they repeat what they are told, and they cling to beliefs that make them feel safe. But the intelligent person, the one who observes deeply and thinks independently, does not blend into that pattern. To society, this independence feels dangerous, because independent thinkers cannot be easily controlled. They cannot be persuaded with slogans, or manipulated with fear, or seduced with empty rewards. Schopenhauer wrote that the majority lives in the surface of life. Their concerns are immediate, emotional, reactive. They seek entertainment, distraction, and routine. Anything that interrupts that rhythm is seen as a threat. This is why intelligent people often face resistance without ever doing anything wrong. Their mere presence challenges the normal order of things. When someone asks deeper questions, why do we behave this way? Why do we believe this? Why are we afraid of change? The collective becomes uncomfortable. People fear what they cannot understand, and the intelligent person, by their very nature, sees the world with a clarity that others are not used to. Schopenhauer explained that the masses instinctively distrust the one who stands apart, not because that person is harmful, but because that person is free. A free mind cannot be predicted, and what cannot be predicted cannot be controlled. Thus, the intelligent person becomes a mirror, reflecting the insecurities, contradictions, and illusions of the society around them. And society reacts the only way it knows how, by resisting, by excluding, by labeling, by misunderstanding. Intelligence disrupts the collective dream, and many people would rather stay asleep than wake up. Schopenhauer believed that one of the greatest challenges faced by intelligent people is not society's fear of them, but the loneliness that comes with seeing the world too clearly. He wrote that the higher a person's intelligence, the more they withdraw from others, not out of arrogance, not out of pride, but because their inner world becomes richer than the outer one. To the intelligent person, conversation is not just talking. It is the exchange of ideas, of meaning, of insight. But most conversations, he believed, revolve around trivialities, small talk, gossip, complaints, entertainment, repetition. Thus, the intelligent person often feels out of place, as if they are speaking a language no one else understands. Schopenhauer described the average crowd as noisy, chaotic, and distracted, a place where depth is drowned out by volume, where thinking is replaced by reacting, and where truth is often seen as an inconvenience. For the intelligent mind, such an environment becomes exhausting. The noise is too loud, the pace is too shallow, the values are too foreign. And so they retreat, not to avoid people, but to preserve themselves. Schopenhauer believed that solitude is not a punishment for the intelligent person. It is a sanctuary, A place where thoughts can breathe, where creativity can flourish, and where the mind can finally roam without interference. But this solitude comes with a price, because the more a person understands the world, the fewer people they find who truly understand them. This gap, this distance between minds, is what creates the quiet loneliness that follows intelligent people throughout their lives. It is not that they cannot socialize. It is not that they dislike others. It is that their perspective is different, their concerns are different, their inner questions are deeper. Schopenhauer wrote that the intelligent person carries a world inside them, a world that cannot always be shared, the world that many people cannot enter. And this inner world, while beautiful, can sometimes feel like an island. Yet he insisted that this loneliness is not a weakness. It is a sign of independence, a sign of depth, a sign that the mind has matured beyond the need for constant external validation. The superior mind is rarely accompanied, but it is never empty. Schopenhauer believed that intelligent people do not need to change themselves to survive in society, but they do need to understand how to navigate a world that is not built for them. The first key, he said, is acceptance. Not acceptance of society's values, but acceptance of one's own nature. The intelligent person must recognize that they will always be different. Their thoughts will be deeper, their questions more unsettling, their sensitivity more intense. This difference is not a flaw, it is a strength. Schopenhauer explained that the tragedy of many intelligent people is that they try to fit into environments that do not nourish them. They force themselves into crowds, into conversations, into groups where they feel invisible or misunderstood. He argued that this effort only drains the spirit. It leads to frustration, disappointment, and self-doubt. Instead, he advised the intelligent person to build a life that honors their inner world. A life with space for solitude, for reflection, for deep thinking, for creativity. He believed that intelligent people flourish, not by adapting to society, but by structuring their lives intelligently. The second key is selective connection. Schopenhauer wrote that while most people may not understand the superior mind, there will always be a rare few who do. These connections are uncommon, but they are meaningful, and they must be chosen carefully. He warned that intelligent people suffer most, not from isolation, but from surrounding themselves with the wrong people, people who drain their energy, dismiss their insights, or envy their independence. Thus, the goal is not to have many relationships, but the right ones, the ones that nourish the mind and respect the inner life. The third key is intellectual independence. Schopenhauer believed that an intelligent mind should never rely on society for validation, direction, or identity. To him, real intelligence means thinking for oneself, even if no one agrees, even if no one understands, even if no one follows. He warned that society rewards conformity, not insight. It rewards obedience, not originality. It rewards loudness, not wisdom. Thus, the intelligent person must develop the courage to trust their own judgment, to follow their own reasoning, to build a worldview that is grounded in truth, not trends. The fourth key is inner mastery. Schopenhauer taught that the superior mind must learn, not only to think deeply, but to govern its own emotional landscape. Because the more intelligent a person is, the more intensely they feel. Their joys are sharper, their disappointments deeper, their sensitivities heightened. To survive in society, they must cultivate calmer detachment, perspective. They must learn to look at life from a distance, as a philosopher observes a storm, without being consumed by it. Schopenhauer believed that true strength is the ability to remain grounded, while others are swept away by impulses, desires, and illusions. The intelligent person does not have to abandon society, nor hide from it. They simply have to understand their place within it, a place slightly outside the crowd on higher ground where the noise fades and the mind can breathe. In the end, Schopenhauer believed that the world will never fully understand the deeply intelligent individual, but that is not a tragedy. It is a destiny, one that comes with clarity, depth, independence, and a life experience more consciously than most people will ever know. The intelligent person may walk alone more often, but the path they walk is illuminated by a light that the crowd cannot see.